Hey y'all. So I thought I would spend some time, and I think this is where we're actually probably going to jump in to letting you guys know what's going on here in the videos and getting this Barndo fairy tale story going on YouTube. So um, man, earlier this week was not fun. Um, So we have a general contractor that does concrete work. I shall not name their name at this point. If you want to know who it is, just PM me and I'll let you know who it is. But anyway, the last few months, they have been included in every decision that we've made. They did send us a bid of $41,000 for the concrete work. Came highly recommended from my project manager and my project manager's husband, because they've worked with them before. His bid was probably one of the higher bids, but we chose him anyway because of the recommendation. And when we decided that we wanted a contract, the guy basically said, no, I generally don't do contracts. Everything's okay. So, only because we were told he was a good guy, we decided, okay, we won't do a contract. Now, he's been included in a lot of the decisions that have been made in regards to what kind of panel system we're doing. He's been included in the timeline, the schedules. He knew that, like, starting next week, that we had to have concrete done, and that these panels were supposed to be here so that we could start putting them up. He knew all that. Knew everything. He was even included when we had to do a geotechnical survey, because that caused a delay. He was also included in all the timelines in regards to the impact of doing all those lifts and having to test them. He was included in all that communication and decisions, right? Knew that we were going to be pushed back 2 weeks. Knew it. So last week, final lift was tested on Monday. Concrete guy actually had 2 people out here. They started doing some measurements, trying to string things up, you know. But then on the back end, through our project manager, we're getting word that, you know what? He's probably not going to get your concrete done for 2 weeks because he's taking on some other jobs. So my project manager and her husband are trying to do some due diligence to see if he can get, see if they can still get some additional work done. And I'm going along with all this because, like, I respect my project manager and I respect Dylan, who's her husband, that works for this guy. Okay? So I'm trying not to ruffle their feathers. I'm trying not to create waves, but at the same time, I'm upset because, like, my family and I, we took 2 weeks off in order to be available so we could get these panels unloaded and get them erected to start building the building. So, so we'd have some concrete done. So I'm kind of going along with everything, yeah, whatever. And I hear all these stories about this one individual, the owner of the company, chewing my project manager out. Like, I mean yelling, like 25, 30-minute yelling episodes over the phone. Actually yelled at her at one point when we were talking about delays because of the excavation with the excavator. Yelled and belittled her in front of my excavator. Like, not very professional. But I'm okay. Like, let's continue moving on with this. Whatever. I think Tuesday morning it was. So last Tuesday morning, I sent this individual a nice letter. Basically, the gist of it was like, hey, I really appreciate everything you're doing. a little bit upset because we have a little delay in the timeline here. A little concerned that you took on some additional work, and that your guys aren't gonna out here. You know, maybe to save face a little bit, like show up, get the work done. You know, basically show me that you can be trusted and you can be valued. Also, like, laid out like we've taken time off, you know. But yeah, I didn't call the guy a jerk or anything. Like, I was nice, very professional, you know. Just trying to see if I can maybe, you know, light a little bit of a fire to see if I can get this dude to show up and do the work, right? Well, he gets very upset and again calls my project manager and yells at her over the phone because of the fact that she told me that he took on additional work. So he was getting upset. They're not going to pay me for the job now. They're probably not going to pay me for the time that I already put in, you know, yada, yada, yada. Like, dude, just show up, do the work. We're okay. Like, just show up and do the work. Okay. But he yelled at my project manager again, which is very unprofessional. Finally gets around to emailing me. I think the email came in like around 5 o'clock in the afternoon after I sent it about 9:30, right? So he sat on it all day. But this email is one of the most gaslighting emails I have ever seen in my entire life. Basically told me he didn't know who I was. Told me he's never heard of my project. Told me he's never bid on my project, yet he had 2 guys out here working on Monday and Tuesday. But he never heard of my project, right? Told me that there's no contract when he refused to sign a contract, right? And he's like also gaslighting me about he had no idea who I was, or like no idea that my family took off any vacation time to do this project. Just, you know, just like he doesn't know anything about this project. But yet he like knows my project manager, he knows her husband. He's very like persnickety, like calling her out like she's unethical. She doesn't hold any contractor's license. She doesn't have any, like, she's not even an architect, and like, you know, you name it.